Well, straight to it, yeah? Is it me or is it you? And when I ask that question, it's more a thing where we're in a world, well, I'm in a world where other people are in charge of your destiny to a degree. You understand? You get yourself either a manager or an agent. All these people are essentially employed so that they can make your dreams come true. And that's caused me to make decisions to change in the past and also caused me to, you know, deal with my own personal problems where I'm very impatient, so having to wait all the time drives me crazy. So when I ask that question, is it me or is it you? I think there's a big question that has to be asked when talking to yourself, and it's understanding, are you in the right situation, and also are you doing enough to help your situation? Have you, so to the first point, do you have the right team around you that you feel can confidently push you to where you think you want to get to, or your where your aspirations are set? So do you have those people? And also, are you doing enough? And that's the hardest one to comprehend. Sometimes you got to put yourself in the shoes of the people that represent you. And they represent you for the reason that they believe that you could be something. So the question is, why aren't we getting the auditions when we feel like we should be getting the auditions? Why aren't we being seen? Why can't we get through the door? We think our headshots are great, this and that, all these types of things. What's happening? Why is it so difficult? And it does play a part. Your representation, it does help. I mean, I think not even I think, I know what happens a lot is that when you're with a good agency, usually these people have do deals which allow more people on the roster to get seen also. So depending on your agency, it delivers a certain type of weight. But what another thing also with this type of agency is, if there's so many people there, are you going to be a priority? Are you going to be seen as much as you'd hoped? So it's picking the balance between that. So when it comes to representation, I guess you just got to figure out whether you want to be with someone big enough that they can just wiggle their way in any room, or do you want to be the person who shines bright in a smaller agency? I've been at a smaller one and I went to a slightly bigger one, and if I'm honest, that was one of the hardest things I had to do because I loved my old agent. I think she was great and she had such drive, she had ambition. I just didn't feel that we were on the same current position at that point. Not to say that I had outgrown her, but to say that what I would maybe expected at that time and the situation I was in, I wanted more. I wanted to be. I thought that I had paid my dues to be in that room. So why am I not being seen? I then changed, and then I ended up booking something quite quickly straight afterwards. So I guess I made the right decision in that respect, going to someone who best suited my situation at that time. But it was one of the hardest things because I don't like leaving people, especially when we have a plan for something. But then you have to remember, I'm in the business of me. If it's not working, I need to make those decisions because I can't just roll on a hunch because this is my life at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult to figure out in that regard what is, the smart way to go in that respect. But then let me go to the point of, what are you doing? Sometimes you need to go the extra. Seeing is believing in our industry, and it's easier to show than to convince someone. If I want to be an action star, I need to show you that I can fight. There needs to be some sort of clips. Yeah, there's going to be somewhat of the Vin Diesel or the Rock. How you doing? This is my family. I don't care, whatever, right? But at the end of the day, you need to sell the story. So if you can't fight someone or look like you can fight someone, you're not going to get the job. Yeah, you can get trained, but they're only going to take that risk with people that are already with some sort of weight behind their name. So do I need to make it easier for them? And I feel like that's the direction I'm going in right now. I want to be that action star, the UK, the black Jason Statham to a degree. Why not? I don't think there's a lane for that right at this point in time. So when I'm looking at things that can help me to do that, maybe I need to show them that I can fight, that I can do this, that I can do certain things, so you don't necessarily need to think of the extra cost that comes with actors. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, when it comes to, is it me or is it you? Is it me? Am I doing enough to position myself in a place to get what I want eventually? Am I positioning myself as that action star or that superhero for people to believe it, so that I can get the opportunity? And also, am I with the representation that's going to put me in that room? And that's such a tricky thing that we all deal with all the time. I hear a lot that it's not weird that a lot of actors switch and change agents all the time. I feel weird, signing a deal and then having to leave if something hasn't come to fruition. But realistically, making that tough decision is what got me to this position now, and it got me to a position where I got a new role in something which is coming out this year that could be the role that changes my life again. And that was all because I took the hunch to make a decision for myself. And that's something that we all need to do. And even though I'm not seeing to be fair, the experience was the best thing I've ever done in my life. Shout out to Lenny Henry and the entire whole team for Three Little Birds. It was the best thing I've ever done. So it helped me out, and it also got me out of a lot of problems with the tax man and stuff like that. But for instance, this whole year's been quite slow for me. I barely auditioned all year. I've been on television and do all these things, and it's been harder for me. It's been hard for me. So I'm trying to figure out what it is to make me keep going. What is it that I need to do to make it easy for my agent, who's already got me a really good role. He's getting me in the room. So it must be difficult with trying to, convince people to bring me on board. So how do I help that? Is patience going to be my biggest enemy? That's something I'm dealing with right now. So I'm just pushing through, I guess. But it's just a hard thing to deal with, because when it's been really slow for me. It makes you start questioning, have you got the right team behind you? And frustrations start to happen. I had an argument with my manager the other day. It wasn't what I wanted to happen, but frustrations just amplified due to miscommunications and stuff. And I want results, and I'm not getting results. But at the same time, they're doing so much behind the scenes that I'm not aware of. But because it's not face value, I can't appreciate it all the time, right? So that's a rocky situation I'm in right now. I don't know what's going to happen with that. Hopefully it goes in the way that I want it to go, but who knows? And that's all heightened more so because I'm in a position which I'm uncomfortable with. I'm not in the best position that I was once in and stuff. So my eagerness to want to get things going now, and trying to focus myself on the things that I want to do and not listening to other people's, stuff, just to believe in my own source a lot of the time. Because what I mean by that is, a lot of people might say, oh, you should be doing that, you should be doing this, why aren't you doing this yet? And that can really mess with your head a lot of the time. So getting to know your own source and figuring out what it is that you need to be doing is a big thing that I'm struggling with. Because sometimes I think I should change, but then again, I remember the plan that I've set out with certain people, and I trust certain people, so I just have to have faith in the process. But it just gets harder and harder and harder and harder and harder and harder every time, every day. So is it you or is it me? What am I willing to do to help my current situation? What more can I do? Can I do videos of me fighting? Can I do tapes of me and do all sorts of accents or mimicking some of my favorite action films? Or is it my team? Do I need to start shipping? Do I need to start shopping around, putting feelers out there for other people to see what my situation is? And what time limit am I going to give certain things? They're all questions I'm dealing with right now. So with me trying to unpack that, hopefully you guys who are in the same position maybe have some more ways of how you can look at your current situation. Is there something I can do? Or is there something that needs to be done with the people that are representing me? But again, I've posed the question for us to come back to see what's happened. And as of right now, I'm happy with the people that I got around with me. And I'm under the impression that with the release of certain things that come out this year, it can help things. So I want to give the most of myself before I can start judging other people for the work they're doing. So I've got a time frame that I've now made for myself for this year. And if I don't start seeing certain things, knowing that I've given everything that I could do, then I have to make a decision. And I feel like that's what we all need to do when in these types of difficult situations. But patience is something I struggle with daily. So I pray that I hope that, everything goes to plan. But all I can do to stay afloat and to stay true to the mission is do as much as I can to help them help me. Damn. It's a mad one to think about. It's not really advice I can give right now because I'm just kind of thinking these things aloud and coming to terms with the truth of the matter from just saying it, to be fair. I guess what I do need to learn more is the art of patience. And just have the belief that everything that I do will come into fruition. That's the risk. It may not. But am I happy doing it? Yeah. If there was anything else I'd rather be doing, no, I want to be an actor. That's all I've ever wanted to be doing. So, doing the work, even though it's expensive, part of the game, man. So thank you for tuning in. Hopefully from this realization I've helped a fair few people, but if not, I think I've helped myself. I just need to just keep calm and carry on. Like the little Union Jack meme or whatever. And don't worry, next time round, no more chewing gum, because I can imagine this sounds terrible. But thank you for tuning in. And that's just life for me. Don't know what episode this is. I've been rambling on for a while, but thank you for joining. I can't wait to see you soon.